I'd like to invite Mykhailo Radutskiy, who's the deputy head of Kyiv City State Administration, and Oleg Ruban, chief state sanitary doctor of Kyiv, will be talking about the impact of the fire at oil depot in the suburbs of Kyiv on medical situation and health in the capital. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this briefing, because for us it is very important that Kyivites receive information not which is transferred by rumors, but the one that is checked by laboratories. It's not just one laboratory of sanitary epidemic service, but we also included several other laboratories to be sure that the information we provide is true. Please come closer to the microphone. One thing, do you want to ask questions and we will answer? Because I do not understand what you would like to hear. Maybe you will ask, we will answer. Maybe I will request Oleg, you received the latest data, and let's quote that, and the journalists will ask what they're interested in. As to the measurements of the air by the Sanitary Epidemiological Service as approved by the Kyiv administration, every month we conduct monitoring of the contamination of air, and the certain measures are appointed. Kyiv is a megapolis where a lot of contamination comes from the transportation, which is the main source of the accumulation of the contaminants. And we can say today that in May we had the increase of the indicators by 1.5 to 2 times, and that is mostly on CO2 and others. These are the indicators that show the contamination of air. Because of the explosion and the fire in Vasilkivsky district, we started monitoring the situation of the quality of air. We defined 8 referent points at the outskirts of Kyiv. And on Tuesday, we conducted laboratory studies. In accordance with the laboratory studies, we found out the increase of the indicators by 6 times. Today, we have data, but that is not complete data, because we requested, we're using in our work the data of Hydrometeor Center to be objective. As of yesterday morning, when receiving laboratory increase, the increase was 2 to 6 times. In accordance with our proposal, the Kyiv City State Organization immediately organized measures as to reducing the harmful substance in the atmosphere. The work on washing the streets, the yards, the highways, washing them by water, also stopping and prohibition of entrance of automobile transportation into Kyiv, of big trucks into Kyiv, and they are the main source of contaminating of the air. As to contamination via fire in Kyiv, we cannot say that this is really the contamination because of the fire, but the measures taken yesterday, today in the morning and at night, and today in the morning and today, we see the results which do not exceed the admissible norms, and in some places it exceeds 6 times. So we can say that all the measures implemented on Tuesday and Wednesday were executed, and they are quite efficient and quite productive. That's it. One thing I would like to add is that the research of the Hydra Center, the Hydra Center is doing this research just like the sanitary service once a month, but yesterday we requested the sanitary service and Hydro Meteor Center that we will be receiving the data every day till the moment when the situation is normalized. The data of the sanitary service we will have in an hour and a half, but as the practice shows, they do not differ. The data of sanitary service and the Hydrometeor Center, because they are taking the samples in more or less same places, both laboratories. Now the questions. Please introduce yourselves before you ask questions. No, we can now. Today we observed that some people in Kyiv are wearing masks. People are scared. They close the windows and they're afraid to go outside. Please provide an answer. Are such measures needed? Mostly parents of small children are afraid. They do not go out into the door because the temperature goes up. What should they do? And please tell how can we compare today and last month, for example. You've heard the data today. Yesterday was 6.7 times the increase, and last time 1.5, 2 times. So there is, it is higher, but last month there was not such a hot weather that impacts. The substances do not go up because the atmosphere is higher and the concentration increased. As to the masks, I believe that is too much, because thanks to God the wind was blowing in a different direction from Kyiv. At night we had the wind and we were checking. We could feel the wind, which we didn't have 2 days ago. Yes, there was a wind, and now from washing the streets by cold water, again the cold water is taking the atmosphere layer up, and that confirms that the concentration is going down. As to advice, we provided advice yesterday. I can briefly tell you what's the advice from medical specialists for people. First of all, really limit your staying outside for children, especially in the morning and in hot hours. Better not go out into the street. Don't put on masks. Second, more often than usually, clean your houses and with water. My proposal is in the morning and in the evening this should be done, to clean with water. At working places, same thing. For people with chronic diseases, with vascular diseases, with respiratory diseases, those who have allergic reactions and asthma, limit your staying today in the open air. It is useful. What is useful? Increase the take of water. It's better if it is not sweet water, but it should be water, regular water without gas, and increase the consumption. You need to take 2-3 liters a day. Again, this advice, even in the regular situation, it would be useful to reduce the number of fat food switched to vegetables and fruit, because they will be better taking off the toxins. And take shower also more often than usually. Don't ask me questions. How many times a day? The person just has to decide. These are the recommendations. Tomorrow, the site of the city state administration, thanks to the Kyiv sanitary epidemic service, we update information once a day when we receive new indicators, and thank God they will be going down tomorrow, and in 3-4 days the situation will be resolved. Can you clarify? Channel 5. Could you say that these are the advice which are standard for just the megapolis, which has a lot of gases, but not where the fire was? Because yesterday people realized that it is because of the fire in Vasilkov. Yesterday the statement was made when the fire was there. The city of Kyiv cannot stay aside when it's happening 20 kilometers away from Kyiv. And it's like we know that we have about 5 million people in Kyiv. So this advice was given by mayor's office, not in relation to the fire, but because there's the threat of emergency situation in such big megapolis. And the city council decided to warn people how to reduce the risk of impact. Secondly, we're not in the Soviet Union. It's not 1986. Neither the mayor nor his deputies could, when they received, after the examination, the data from the sanitary epidemic service, that there is such a threatful excess of the norms, which is 6-7 times higher, could the mayor's office be silent not to warn people that there is such a threat? Don't relate it to the fire only, but the advice. But I would pay more attention not to advice, but to the actions made yesterday. They prohibited the entrance of the trucks. What else? Drivers are also people, and this will also influence them badly, and that is why there was also the warning made, the notice given to prepare some points where the drivers of trucks could get water when they are waiting till the evening when they can enter the city, because the trucks that weigh 20 tons under such ton, they break the roads, and this will allow people who are at work to easier move. So we organized everything we could for them, organized some shelters from sun to them, and also the potable water. We were washing the streets before, but now we had to do it more often when we see this excess of increase of contamination, and we hope that this that will continue doing until the threat disappears. What the mayor said, check all these depots which are close to Kyiv. I also understand that that is correct, because to risk the lives of 5 million city, you understand, 1 + 1. I would like to clarify, Mr. Ruban, yesterday your representative at the place of the accident said that for Kyivites the air is absolutely safe, and now There is information referring to you that it's better for pregnant and children not to go outside into the streets. Why? It has become dangerous today. Yesterday it was not. And can you specify for which categories it is dangerous? The information is the same. It comes from one source, from myself. As to the contamination of air, the atmosphere, the air in Kyiv in the hot period of time is 2-3 times more contaminated, or has the content of harmful particles is 2-3 times higher than the norm, and that is why we prohibit movement of trucks and clean the streets, wash the streets also. On Tuesday, the content of hydride, of sulfur hydride was 2-3 times higher, and we cannot say whether this is because of the fire or because of the traffic. And our proposal to city authorities, because of the hot weather, to conduct all these organizational measures. They were done, and the results are now, we see the results. In this hot period of time, certain category of people should avoid being in the streets. These are chronic those who have chronic diseases, first of all, coronary vascular diseases, respiratory diseases, children and pregnant. This is the main group of risk for which it's not recommended to go out into the street in hot weather, to walk during the hours, walk during the evening hours. ICTV. The question to Oleg. All these indicators are known. You mentioned that they do not differ. And the question to Mykhailo. I believe that you have no evidence that all that is related to the fire, but Kyiv is warning about that. Well, first, to Oleg, I will answer both questions. We do laboratory studies once a month. Last month in May, on the 19th of May, we received the results which exceeded 1.5–2 times. We were doing, because of the fire, we did it early. We were planning to do it next week on the 15th. Now we did measurements on Tuesday, and we found out these products of burning, their content 2–6 times higher. And now we did certain measures, and we see the results, and now we see the results, and we see that the content is not higher than the allowed maximum, sorry. And what the Kyiv authorities have done, that's effective, and we will recommend to the whole world to do the same. There was one more question I will answer. This is not that Kyiv has to prove whether that is contamination because of the fire or because of some other things. We received the result that there is a dangerous contamination of air, and the same day we started combating this problem. Why? What for? For Kyivites, it's not the matter of principle. For them, it is important to live in a safe city. And we did not even look at why this happened. If the sanitary service says, or emergency service says that it's because of the fire, okay, that's because of the fire. Or maybe they will say it's because too much too many trucks are getting to Kyiv, then okay. And we are grateful to Sanitary Epidemic Service that they are providing information to us so quickly. I mentioned, maybe you missed, the information from Hydrometeo Center from Kyiv. We received as of 16 from Sanitary Epidemic Service. We will have at 6 o'clock at the website of Kyiv City State Administration. After 18 hours, you will see these results. Voice of Kyiv Radio. Could you say, you mentioned that today in some districts the norms of contamination do not exceed, and in some they exceed 6 times. What are the dirtiest districts of Kyiv? Today we have reference points where we monitor once a month. Because of the fire in Vasilkov, we define the points which are in Голосivsky, Svetoshinsky, Solominsky, Obolonsky districts, which are close to the place of the fire. So in these points, in these 8 points along the circular road, we identified the accession of 2 to 6 times. As to monitoring the situation, we continue monitoring, and we are looking forward to when the fire is completely liquidated. We will be informing the Kyiv authorities about the situation all over the city, starting from Голосivsky district and Desnyansky, which is further away. When we complete every day, we'll be informing the Kyiv authorities and we'll be taking measures. If the editor helps me show the picture, review news. I would like to give some figures. If we observed, there was practically no winter, and the smoke was going up from above. We see that the whole smoke has become like a cloud. The question, please, you are not an expert. We've seen the picture, now the question. Now all the smoke went to Fastiv because of the wind, and the smoke was going low near the surface. Should Kyivites be warned, or the citizens of big cities should they be careful with all these fruits like the cherries, the straw, because cows eat the grass where these contaminant substances would fall, and should the control over that be intensified? Yeah, you're 100% right. One thing, the biggest danger is if the rain goes where this cloud is. If there's rain there, then for food products which are produced by the residents of these places, this will be a problem, because all the products of contamination of the substances will fall on the product. There is instruction to the Department of Trade of Kyiv. There is a request. Unfortunately, after one of the reforms, the sanitary service usually fulfill all the requests of Kyiv, but they are not subordinate to Kyiv. But we are in good cooperation, and today in the markets of Kyiv there is a veterinary and sanitary control increased of the products which come to the shelves of Kyiv. We intensified the control, but we cannot prohibit them bringing products into Kyiv, especially if there's no rain. It will not be so dangerous. One clarification, please. Could you please specify what is the norm because 6 times higher, that's normal, safe. No, that's not normal, that's dangerous. 6 times is dangerous. What is the minimum? What is dangerous? So that people start running away. We cannot tell you that. Everybody is individual, and there is some maximum allowed maximum. 6 times dangerous, but today for dioxide the norm is 0.4 microgram per cubic meter, and the maximum allowed 0.2. This indicator is 5 times less thanks to the measures. As to the dioxide, 4 times less, and sulfur and something is 5 times less. That shows that all the measures are very effective. As to strawberry and other food products, now the head of the state sanitary service is having a meeting as on not allowing to bring to the territory of Kyiv the products which are covered by ash. In Kyiv region, in the morning there was rain, and all the products, all the surface is covered with ash. It is impossible to wash it out, so the measures are to be taken so that this doesn't get to the markets. Thank you, Oleg. Thank you, Mykhailo, for explaining all these details. For today, our work day is over. Tomorrow we start at